Hello, this is Lady Boule, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, there's something that really goes on in modern culture that baffles me. These three women, from left to right: Brigitte Macron, First Lady of France; Michelle Obama, former First Lady of the United States; and Kamala Harris, former Vice President of the United States. These women have been demonized by some in the public, and not only demonized, but masculinized. People are saying that these women were born men. I didn't even realize they were saying that about Kamala until I started doing this research. And her name kept popping up. And I was like, I didn't even realize they were saying that about Kamala. But that is what they're saying about these women. These women are influential, they're ambitious, and they are in powerful positions with powerful men. And so now the public has decided that no, they're not just married to men or associated with men, they're men themselves. That's a kind of craziness that I don't get. They have been masculinized in the public for being men. Now, who knows where this started? But people have been on a campaign against these women, especially Bridget Macron and Michelle Obama. I didn't even realize they were saying that about Kamala Harris until I started doing research on this. And they're saying the same thing about Kamala Harris, that she's a man. What is this obsession? What is this sort of misogyny that people just cannot let people be? Now, of course, part of it is people not wanting to see women in high places. They don't want to see women as the president or the president's wife in the case of Michelle Obama. And then in the case of Kamala Harris, they didn't want to see her being president. Now, I don't know what the obsession is with Bridget Macron, but people have come against her too in France and now in the United States in the form of Candace Owens. When Candace Owens first came out with the Brigitte Macron is a man, I didn't know what to make of it. So one day I listened to her for over an hour, and she made the most compelling case that this woman was born a man, and she had pictures showing a young boy in the picture, Bridget Macron's brother. Candace Owens claimed that that young boy grew up to be a gay man, and over time he decided to switch identities and went from being a male to being a female, became a school teacher, and that is when she came into contact with Emmanuel Macron, who is now the president of France. He was her student. Now, that's not a pretty picture, but that's how they got started. She was a married woman with three children when she got involved with her student. The affair escalated. She got divorced from her husband, married Macron, and that's where we are now. Her ex husband passed away in 2019 at the age of 69. Here is a picture of Brigitte Macron and her two daughters. One is a lawyer, the other is a cardiologist. Here is a picture of her son and his family. He is also a lawyer. All of this information is documented, but the rumors persist that Brigitte Macron was born a man. Candace Owens has taken it out of France and brought it to the United States, and she is the champion of the Brigitte Macron was born a man. So, back, I guess it was in June or July, the Macrons filed a defamation suit against her. So now Candace Owens is talking about trying to get DNA. So I asked the co-pilot if, under the circumstances, would Brigitte Macron be required to give DNA evidence proving that she was not born a man? And this is what the co-pilot said. The co-pilot said, no, Brigitte Macron does not have to undergo DNA testing to prove she is a woman. The idea that she was born male is a baseless conspiracy theory that has been thoroughly debunked. Now, this older brother that Candace Owens is claiming that Brigitte Macron transitioned from into a woman is still alive. That's him circled in red in the photo. So if the Macrons go through with that lawsuit and Candace Owens has to appear in court to prove her claim, she's most likely going to lose. As a matter of fact, the Macrons have asked her to stop. It's embarrassing. It has to be embarrassing. Even Donald Trump said he had met with her when he went to some kind of summit somewhere. He said he called Candace Owens and told her that he had met with her and it looked like a woman to me. That's what Donald Trump told Candace and asked her to stop doing this claim that this woman is a man. And Candace Owens basically thumped her nose. And she's continuing to do it, saying she's waiting for her day in court. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that turns out. Because if these white people decide to gang up on her, they could ruin her for real. I don't know how she has the nerve to do it. And I honestly don't understand why it matters. I don't understand why she's doing it. But maybe we shall understand better by and by. Now, Michelle Obama is a different case. Now, Michelle Obama is a different case. Now, Michelle Obama is a different case. A lot of what's being said about her is on Twitter and in some of these dark places that you stumble upon, but nobody has taken her on in the same way that Candace Owens has taken on the First Lady of France. Michelle Obama was born. Michelle Obama was born Michelle LaVaughn Robinson on January 17, 1964, at Providence Hospital of Cook County in Chicago, Illinois, to Fraser Robinson III, a city water plant employee, and Marion Shields Robinson. Her mother was a full-time homemaker until Robinson entered high school. Now, all of this is documented. She was born at a hospital. Hospital records will tell you the sex of the baby. So you don't really have to wonder about her. Michelle Obama had school day pictures from first grade. Her teachers, some of her teachers, are still alive, but still they persist in doing this. And this was just about selfishness, jealousy, and hatred. They do not want it to stand that the First Lady of the United States was a beautiful, dignified, educated black woman who stood on her own square with dignity, something that many of them can't do. So hers was mostly out of hatred. Like, we're going to drag her down by any means necessary, just like they're trying to do President Obama. Donald Trump is a convicted felon, but he's doing everything he can to try to turn President Obama into a felon. So this is motivated by hate and prejudice and racism. That's what this is against Michelle Obama, and we know that. And last but not least is Kamala Harris. Before Kamala had aspirations for being the president of the United States, everybody was talking about how pretty she was. She was the prettiest attorney general of a state in the United States. She had such a bubbly personality. Nobody had a problem with her until she became vice president, and then she became the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. And I don't think it's so much that people are saying that she was born a man. I think it's more or less people are saying that she is masculine, which is also insulting because you can be a feminine woman and still be in a powerful position. But such is the case in the world, not just in the United States, that we have not advanced as human beings enough to be able to give everybody their fair shake and let people work up to their potential regardless to what the position is. So Kamala got dragged for being masculine because she wanted what's looked upon as a man's job, president of the United States. But shout out to these women for holding the positions in the world that they hold. Somebody has got to do this kind of work. Somebody has got to be the First Lady of France. Somebody has got to be the former First Lady of the United States. Somebody has got to be a politician in waiting. We don't know what the end is going to be for Kamala yet. But everybody should be able to live up to their potential without their humanity being diminished or compromised. And even though these women come up under a lot of challenges, they have their profits and losses just like everybody else, but they're still standing. And the world has to have women who will stand too. And as far as Brigitte Macron, I do hope she wins her lawsuit against Candace Owens because I think it's unnecessary for her to go after this woman in this way. It just seems mean-spirited to me. Because if this was something that the world needed to know and was going to make the world a better place, I could understand it. But going after this person because you are broken in some way, and that's what I believe about Candace Owens, it just doesn't seem fair to me. But let me know what you think. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening.